Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you are joining us in the world today. Thank you for attending IFMA's presentation of Demystifying the CFM. My name is Lauren Krueger. I'm the Director of Sales Operations for IFMA, and I will be talking to you today about IFMA's CFM certification. If you've attended any of our presentations in previous months, we tend to talk about all of our programs, but today we are just going to be focusing on the CFM. I've been with IFMA going on 9 years now. In July is my anniversary with IFMA, and I started out in the membership department and am now in the professional development and education and training department. So if you have any questions at all today about membership, upcoming conferences, I'm happy to answer any questions. And if you are joining us from the LinkedIn invitation, if you have any questions at all about the CFM, you can type them into the comments section on that LinkedIn post. I can answer them in real time. If I am not able to get to it as I'm speaking, there will be time at the end for some question and answer sessions as well. This should be about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, depending upon the number of questions that we receive. So thank you again for joining us today. And I want to quickly mention Laura Payman. She is IFMA's Managing Director for IFMA EMEA. We have a separate website for the EMEA region. It's down here at the bottom. You can see emea.ifma.org. And that is Laura's contact information there if you have any questions at all about sponsorship opportunities or upcoming European World Workplace Conference. So a little bit about IFMA. Who are we? IFMA is the International Facility Management Association, and we are the most trusted and experienced facility management association in the world. We have been around for more than 40 years serving the profession. We have over 20,000 members in over 100 countries. We have 139 chapters globally. So chapters are geographically based locations of the organization. So we have chapters in cities throughout Europe, throughout Asia, Latin America. We are working on getting a chapter recognized in Dubai. And so what the chapters do is it's a centrally located place for you to connect with other practicing facility managers and professionals, network and learn from them. So those are what chapters are. IFMA is also committed to advancing the facility management industry worldwide, and we're a premier resource for current trends, training, networking with experts and peers. So this is a quick overview of IFMA's credentials and the Essentials, which is a training program. Again, we're going to focus on the CFM today, but I wanted to do a quick spotlight on the other credentialing programs IFMA offers because we will touch on them during this presentation briefly. Starting with Essentials on the left side of the screen, this is not a credential, it is a training program, and it is for those that are new to facility management. So usually with less than a year of experience, or if they're facility management adjacent industries, engineering, technical services, architecture and design, and they're looking to get into facility management, this training program is going to cover basic terminology of the facility management industry. What are the specific job roles and responsibilities of a facility manager so that you can get more of an idea and base knowledge of what facility management is and what a facility manager does. The FMP is our Facility Management Professional. This is a certificate program. This is going to cover the 4 foundational competencies of facility management. We'll go into this a little bit more in the next slides, but the CFM is going to cover all 11 competencies that make up the facility management body of knowledge. The FMP is going to give you additional training in the foundational 4 competencies. The SFP is our Sustainability Facility Professional. This is for those that are interested in how to operate and manage sustainable functions in your organization and facility. And then we'll touch on the CFM more in the next few slides. And I want to point out that the FMP, the SFP, and the CFM are all globally recognized ANSI accredited credentialing programs. So ANSI is the American National Standards Institute, is the American arm of ISO, if you're familiar with ISO, the International Standards Organization. So what ANSI does is they have come into IFMA's offices. They've reviewed our programs, they've reviewed our policies and procedures, the global job task analysis survey that we conducted that forms the basis of these credentialing programs, our subject matter experts. Basically, they have come in and reviewed everything that was done to create these credentialing programs and have provided an unbiased review that these programs meet the level of standard needed to be in an accredited credentialing certificate program, or in the CFM's case, a certification program. So this is providing an added level of confidence in the credential that you receive from IFMA. There are other credentialing programs out there, but unless they are accredited, you cannot be certain that those credentialing programs meet a level of standard needed that is needed for a credentialing program. So having it accredited through ANSI provides the integrity, that protects the integrity, the value, and the reputation of that credential that you are receiving from IFMA. So the CFM, the Certified Facility Manager, we're going to spend a few minutes here on this slide discussing everything that makes up the CFM exam. So the CFM certification is for experienced facility managers looking to demonstrate their expertise and knowledge. So having that CFM designation under your name says to your colleagues, to your supervisor, to potential employers, to the world, that you have mastered and are skillful in the 11 competencies that make up the facility management body of knowledge. The CFM is going to test your knowledge of all 11 competencies, as well as your application of that knowledge. So what does that mean? The CFM is a competency-based certification. So when you go to take that CFM exam and are looking at answering the questions that are on the exam, you have to apply it to an ideal situation of what a facility manager would, how they would approach this question. So if you are sitting in Saudi Arabia, if you're sitting in China, or if you're sitting in Belgium, you may have your own specific way of how you would tackle a problem within your organization that's specific to what is happening within your country. The CFM is going to look at this from a global perspective. Because the CFM certification was created from feedback from a global job task analysis. So practicing facility managers submitted feedback on our survey of what their day-to-day tasks are, and subject matter experts defined 11 competencies that the CFM exam tests you on. So this is, when you approach the questions on the exam, because it's done at that global level, it's not going to be specific to regions. So you would need to approach these questions based on what an ideal situation would be for a facility manager anywhere in the world. This is a proctored exam. So you cannot take this by purchasing a training course and then passing that training course gets you the certification. No. You will need to go to a testing center. Prometric testing sites are our preferred vendor that conduct the CFM exam. And you will need to take that exam. It's 180 questions and it's a pass-fail scenario. That's it. There's no specific percentage that you have to achieve in order to pass it. It's a simply pass-fail. Because of the pandemic, there are remote proctoring sessions available for the CFM exam. There is a certain level of requirements that you must meet in order to be eligible to do remote proctoring. But for those that are not comfortable going into a testing center, you have that option of a remote proctoring for the CFM exam. And the CFM certification is applicable across all industries and verticals. There are other certifications out there specific to facility management in a certain industry. So, for example, healthcare and hospitals. There is a specific certification for facility managers in that manage a hospital. However, if down the road in your career you were to go into a different industry, you attained a new job in a different industry, say in corporate facilities, that specific credential for the hospital industry would not be applicable for if you're going into banking institutions or if you're going to an organized corporate facility organization. The CFM is a global certification that approaches facility management from that global perspective. So you would be able to apply everything that you learned, have that certification, move with you to different industries. So that is important to think about when you're looking at what credential is right for you. The CFM is a certification that you do have to recertify every 3 years. It is not a lifelong credential. Because it is a certification, you have to demonstrate that you are maintaining your relevancy and your knowledge within current facility management trends and topics. So there are requirements that you have to do when you submit your recertification application to prove that you are continuing to practice facility management. And then the main thing to remember about the CFM certification is that there are eligibility requirements you must meet before you can sit for that CFM exam. If you have a master's or a bachelor's degree in facility management, you need 3 years of relevant facility management experience in the field. All other education levels, you must have 5 years of facility management experience. And we'll go into that a little bit more on the next slide. And I do want to quickly mention, when you submit your CFM application and it is approved, you can sit for that CFM exam. If you were to fail the CFM exam, IFMA is offering a free retake for that CFM exam. So for those that may, be a little apprehensive about sitting for the exam, you're unsure, I hope this is an incentive for you to go for it. You can sit for that exam. If you do fail it, you can take it again, and it is a free retake. You do not have to pay another application retake fee to sit for that exam a second time. So this is a flowchart that asks a series of questions to determine whether or not you are eligible to sit for that CFM exam. I know some of this wording on here is a little small. We will provide a link to this flowchart later, so if any of you would like to download it and look at it on your computer at a later date, you have the ability to do that. So the first thing is going to be to understand if you have 5 or more years of experience in facility management. If you have 5 or more years, you are eligible to take the CFM exam today. You could submit your application today, and then you would, once it's approved, you would have 90 days to sit for the CFM exam. If you do not have 5 years of experience, the second question to ask yourself is, do you have 3 or more years of experience within facility management? If you do, then you need to understand, do you have a bachelor's or a master's degree in an accredited facility management degree program? If you do, then you can apply for the CFM exam. If you do not, then there are other options that you can pursue within IFMA while you wait for the 5 years of experience to be eligible for the CFM exam. And we'll go into these a little bit more in the next few slides, but you have the ability to pursue the FMP credential or to look at additional courses within the other competency courses outside of the ones that make up the FMP credential. If you have less than 1 years of experience in facility management, we do recommend starting with the Essentials of Facility Management. This is that introductory program to help you understand the key terminology, tasks, daily job responsibilities of a facility manager. You do not have to start at the Essentials. You can go right into the FMP if that is something you would rather do. But if you have less than 1 year, we typically find that the Essentials program is a great place for those individuals to start. So again, to drive home the facts of how to earn that CFM certification. For facility managers with more than 5 years of experience, you're eligible to apply for that CFM exam today. For those with 4 or fewer years of experience, there are options for you, other training programs you can do to help prepare while you wait for 5 years of experience. If you have 3 to 4 years of experience and a bachelor's or master's degree in facility management, you are eligible to apply for that CFM exam. So for those that have the 5 or more years of experience and you are interested to understand how to prepare for the CFM exam, IFMA offers 2 options for you that you see on the screen here. IFMA conducts a CFM exam prep workshop. This is a virtual workshop that's led by an IFMA qualified instructor, and it's for 4 hours total spread over 2 mornings. This is a great opportunity to speak with an instructor who has the CFM certification. Typically, they've been in the industry for 20 plus years. They're very experienced instructors, and they will help guide you through the exam methodology, and they will tell you how to apply critical thinking skills to the questions on the CFM exam. This is not a review of the 11 competencies. It is simply a review of the methodology behind the CFM exam. The second option to help you is the CFM practice exam. This is not led by an IFMA qualified instructor. This is an online test that you can purchase off of IFMA's course catalog. It's 90 questions, and you have up to 5 attempts to practice this exam. So this is not going to provide a review of the 11 competencies, and if you do well on this practice exam, it does not mean you will do well on the CFM actual exam. This practice exam is to help you get a feel for a computer-based test and to get some experience with how to answer the questions on the CFM exam. That free retake is available. I'm sorry, I had a question come in asking about the free retake if it was available in certain regions. It is available to any individual that has failed that first attempt on the CFM exam. Any individual is eligible to take the CFM exam again, and IFMA is providing a free retake. The timeline to retake that exam is we typically ask students to usually wait 60, I believe it's 60 days before attempting that CFM exam again. So that would be the timeline to apply for that free retake. So for those that may not yet be eligible to sit for the CFM exam, there are other options for you to help you prepare while you wait for the 5 years of eligibility. IFMA offers competency courses in each one of the 11 competencies that make up the facility management body of knowledge. These are for facility managers in any stage of your career, whether you have less than 1 year of experience or you have 30 years of experience. These are individualized programs that provide additional training in these 11 competencies. You'll see these on the screen here. You have communications, performance and quality, facility information management and technology management, occupancy and human factors, sustainability, risk management, and real estate. The 4 that you see on top of the screen are considered foundational competencies, and these are what make up the facility management professional, the FMP credential. You have finance and business, operations and maintenance, leadership and strategy, and project management. You, depending upon where you have knowledge gaps in any of these competencies or whether you'd like to see updated information on a specific competency to get current training, you can pick and choose which competency is right for you. You do not have to purchase all of these competencies in a bundled package. You do not have to purchase the FMP credential. This is truly individualized training programs for you to meet you where you are in your gaps of knowledge, in your skills gaps, or if you're looking to pursue a credential. So the 4 that you see up top, if you were to take all 4 of these individual competency courses, you have the option to submit your application to achieve the FMP credential. The FMP credential is a lifelong credential. There is no maintenance on it. However, if you simply want to gain additional training in leadership and strategy, you have the ability to purchase just the leadership and strategy module. So if you were to purchase any one of these individual competencies, you do have 1 year of online access to complete that course. And each one of these individual courses contains the e-learning modules. There's content, the digital books and content online that you review. There are chapter quizzes, a progress check as you read through the material to help you understand if you are comprehending the concepts and topics that you're learning. And then each one of these competencies, there's a final assessment at the end. When you complete and pass that final assessment, you will receive a certificate of completion stating you've completed this individual competency course. You will also receive a digital badge. You may have seen some of your colleagues claim their digital badge on LinkedIn. So for those that might have taken a communications course, they've claimed their communications digital badge. And that digital badge is just an easy way to show colleagues that you've gone through this program, you've learned and gained the skills and training needed that make up the communications course. For those that complete all 4 foundational competencies that lead to the FMP credential, you would receive a digital badge stating you have that FMP credential. And for those that sit for the CFM exam, and once you pass that CFM exam, you would receive a digital badge stating you've completed and have that CFM certification. So everything you need to complete these individual courses are online when you purchase them from IFMA. And of course, you do not have to be a member of IFMA to purchase any of IFMA's training programs. You do not have to be a member to purchase any of the FMP credential, the SFP credential, or to pursue the CFM. However, if you are looking at a lifelong learning journey with IFMA, it may be beneficial to understand how much money you might be able to save by becoming a member of IFMA. By becoming a member of IFMA, you do receive member pricing on all training education programs and credentialing programs. So becoming a member can save you money especially if you do not meet the eligibility requirements yet for the CFM exam and are looking to perhaps purchase a couple independent competency courses to help you prepare. It may be beneficial to join IFMA to get the member pricing on those products. And something new that IFMA has recently launched are credentialing communities, I apologize, can't talk this morning, on the credential paths. So for those that are interested in the CFM credential or are currently on a journey to pursue the CFM credential, we have a specific engaged community for you to join, network with other individuals also on the same journey to achieve the CFM or on the journey to achieve the FMP or the SFP credential. And it's a great way for you to connect with those other individuals, ask questions of the concepts and topics you're learning, perhaps look at mentors or creating study groups with other individuals going through the program. So it's a great way to get some questions answered maybe you have on the concepts and topics within the material, work with other individuals. And these are monitored by IFMA staff. I'm on there. I've answered questions already for those that have questions about any of the credentialing programs. And there's a ton of resources in those community libraries that you can download and help you on your journey to achieving that training program. And then real quick, I'm going to touch on the learning options that you have when you pursue training with IFMA. As I mentioned, you can go to the IFMA website and purchase any one of those individual competency courses and pursue those studies on your own. Everything's online. You would go through the material online. You would take the final assessments. Everything is online. That's our self-study option. Then we have classroom and a virtual classroom option. Because of the pandemic, classroom courses are not as readily available as they were, back prior to 2019. However, they are slowly starting to come back as the world returns somewhat to a new normal. So there are options for classroom courses dependent upon where you are in the world and what's available. And still readily available right now are virtual courses. And so these virtual courses are going to lead you through the chapters and the concepts and topics within these courses via live 90-minute webinar sessions. These are led by an IFMA qualified instructor, and they provide a high-level overview of the concepts and topics within the course that you're going through. So it's great to connect with that instructor in the class, to ask questions of the material, and have that instructor help guide you through completing that course. So for those of you that are interested in either a classroom or a virtual course for any of IFMA's training courses, we have IFMA approved education training affiliates. These are training organizations that are around the world that have been vetted and approved by IFMA to conduct these training courses. All the materials are developed by practicing facility managers from IFMA subject matter experts. So if you attend a course through an approved training provider, you are receiving the IFMA material. And these courses are taught by IFMA qualified instructors. So these are individuals that have been vetted, approved to teach the content, have the credential, have gone through this process themselves, and can provide invaluable information and resources to you. There are other training organizations out there that are providing training courses to help you sit for the CFM exam. If they are not an approved training provider of IFMA, I cannot guarantee you who the instructor is that is teaching your course, what materials you're receiving, or what's in the content that you're learning before sitting for that CFM exam, because they are not approved by IFMA. So I cannot guarantee you the quality of the materials or the instructor that you will be receiving. If you attend a training program through an approved IFMA training affiliate, I, of course, can guarantee you that you will receive IFMA materials. The quality of the instructor and the class will be the same as if you were attending it in Houston, Texas, or in Amsterdam in Europe. So it is of benefit to attend these courses through an IFMA approved education training affiliate, and you can view our list on the website here. And this will also be at the end if you want to jot down the link. But please, please, please make sure you are looking at, if you're looking at a training organization, please make sure they are an approved training affiliate of IFMA. So for sitting through this presentation with me, thank you. We are offering some special savings for you. If you are interested in the Essentials series or one of those individual FM competency courses, you can use the discount code YourCareer50 to receive $50 off. If you're one of those individuals that are not yet eligible to sit for the CFM exam and want to pursue the additional training options IFMA offers, you can use the discount code YourCareer100 to receive $100 off the SFP credential, the FMP bundle, which would include all 4 foundational competencies, or the core competency course bundle. And this core competency course bundle is going to be those 7 individual competency courses that are outside of the ones that make up the FMP. So if you are someone that wants to go through all 7 before sitting for the CFM exam, you can receive $100 off that bundled price. These discounts are good through the end of March. So you have a couple weeks to make a decision, maybe present this information to your supervisor if they're looking to support your education through IFMA. And this is an extra incentive to help them make that decision. And here are some quick links for you if you have any questions. IFMA's main website URL, as well as the EMEA website URL. This is the link to the list of approved education training affiliates IFMA has. The complete course catalog for IFMA is at fm.training. Outside of the programs I discussed today, IFMA offers a number of video on demand courses. These are typically lectures that have happened in previous conferences. These are courses, micro courses that were created based on emerging trends within facility management. So these are additional quick video information that you can look at and achieve additional training on. And these are also categorized based on their where they fit within the 11 competencies. And then if you are someone who would prefer to read more information about the CFM credential, this is the link to the CFM handbook, and you can access this from our website on ifma.org. And this is a very comprehensive handbook that is going to go into detail on the exam methodology, the exam specifications. It's going to discuss how to submit your application, eligibility requirements, how to choose a testing center. So this is a very comprehensive handbook that you can look through and read to get additional information if you have any more questions. If someone asked if you can provide the hyperlink to the virtual training options. So if you go to the course catalog on fm.training, there is a link for those virtual CFM prep courses. And after this presentation, I will go through and I will insert that link directly as a response to the chat on the LinkedIn post, so you can go directly there. But all of the upcoming virtual courses are available on our course catalog on fm.training. Okay, and that seems to be all the questions that we have. If you think of anything after this presentation, you can email corporateconnections@ifma.org, or you can type your question into the LinkedIn comment section, and I will go through and continue to monitor and answer any questions that pop up there as well. Thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it. I hope this presentation was helpful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thank you.